Making headlines. The President extends an invitation to the Bollywood film producers to produce their films in the Maldives. Governor of Maharashtra emphasizes the long-standing bilateral ties between the Maldives and India in multiple sectors. And Japan's Prime Minister expresses his commitment to strengthen the bilateral ties with the Maldives.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafizat Sotar. And now the news in detail. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz extends an invitation to the Bollywood film industry to utilize the stunning natural landscapes of the Maldives for movie productions. He made the proposal while speaking at the India-Maldives Business Forum in Mumbai during his first official visit to India. Speaking at the second edition of the forum, President Dr. Muiz emphasized that tourism goes beyond just transportation, as it strengthens bilateral ties, fostering cultural harmony and promotes peaceful friendships between nations. He noted that nearly 100,000 Indian tourists had visited the Maldives this year alone, highlighting the growing relationship between the two countries. Additionally, President Dr. Muiz pointed out that India ranks among the top 10 tourist markets for the Maldives, underscoring the strength of their relationship and the potential for new opportunities that can benefit both nations. He highlighted the Maldives' status as one of the world's most popular tourist destinations for 4 consecutive years, attributing this success to the trust that global travelers have placed in the country. Furthermore, President Dr. Muiz remarked that Indian tourists are particularly drawn to the Maldives for its unique experiences, noting the growth of eco-tourism, wellness tourism and film tourism. As such, he invited Bollywood filmmakers to take advantage of the Maldives' natural beauty for their productions, emphasizing the emotional connection Indian visitors often develop with the destination. Moreover, President Dr. Muiz outlined his administration's plans to expand tourism across the country. He noted the Hanimadu International Airport project, which will open up tourism in the northern regions, as well as the Velana International Airport VIA expansion aimed at a further boost in tourism. He also announced plans to add 6,000 new tourist beds in the southernmost part of the Maldives and 10,000 in Gaftal Atoll over the next 5 years. Governor of Maharashtra, C.P. Radhakrishnan, emphasizes the long-standing bilateral ties between the Maldives and India in multiple sectors. He highlighted the close relations between the two countries when he paid a courtesy call on President Dr. Mohammad Muiz. During the visit to Maharashtra, Governor Radhakrishnan warmly welcomed President Dr. Muiz and his delegation to Maharashtra. He expressed his gratitude to the President and his delegation for visiting Mumbai. The Governor shed light on the close bilateral relations between India and the Maldives, spanning trade, tourism and business. He emphasized the importance of building on the linkages between the peoples of the Maldives and Maharashtra to advance cooperation in these and other areas. Meanwhile, President Dr. Muiz thanked the Governor and the people of Mumbai for their warm welcome and generous hospitality. The President highlighted the upcoming 60th anniversary of formal diplomatic relations with India, emphasizing the Maldives' valued relationship with India. Following the meeting, President Dr. Muiz and First Lady Sajida Muhammad attended an official dinner hosted by the Governor Radhakrishnan at Raj Bhavan in Mumbai. Members of the presidential delegation and senior officials from the government of Maharashtra were present at the dinner. The event took place in the evening of October 8th as part of President Dr. Muiz's ongoing state visit to India. Japan's Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba expresses his commitment to strengthen the bilateral ties with the Maldives. He made the statement in a social media post responding to the congratulatory message from President Dr. Mohammad Muiz. The social media post shared by President Dr. Muiz indicated the President's confidence in the leadership abilities of Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba. The President further reaffirmed the Maldives' commitment to further enhance and strengthen the long-standing bilateral ties between the two countries. In response, Prime Minister Shigeru thanked President Dr. Muiz for congratulating him upon appointment. He expressed Japan's commitment to collaborate with the Maldives, aiming to further strengthen the bilateral ties between the two countries toward the realization of a free and open Indo-Pacific. Shigeru Ishiba was appointed as the Prime Minister of Japan following the resignation of former Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. Diplomatic ties between the Maldives and Japan were established on November 14, 1967. This year marks 57 years since the bilateral relations were established. Minister of Islamic Affairs Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Saeed announces plans to hold a conference aimed at improving and enhancing the services offered to the pilgrims performing Hajj and Umrah pilgrimage. In a social media post, Minister Dr. Shahim revealed that the first Hajj and Umrah conference will take place on October 31st. The minister stated that the conference will target groups and organizations offering pilgrimage services. He added that this initiative aims to improve the arrangements made for Maldivians performing Hajj and Umrah pilgrimage. Currently, groups of pilgrims are departing for Hajj through the Maldives Hajj Corporation Limited. Additionally, the Ministry of Islamic Affairs has granted permits to 56 organizations to provide services for Umrah pilgrims. While the Islamic Ministry has announced plans to hold the conference to improve Hajj and Umrah pilgrimage services, it has previously held conferences aimed at improving the roles of imams and religious scholars. These initiatives are part of broader efforts to enhance activities within the religious field of the Maldives. Minister of Economic Development and Trade, Mohammad Saeed, says that President Dr. Mohammad Muiz's state visit to India marks the start of a new chapter of the Maldives-India trade. The remarks were made by the minister during the India-Maldives Business Forum held in New Delhi, India.
In his address, Minister Saeed shed light on the economic and trade relations between the Maldives and India. Highlighting the strong relations in this field, the minister expressed confidence that the bilateral ties will continue to strengthen moving forward. During the forum, Minister Saeed emphasized the government's efforts to diversify the Maldivian economy. He noted that the outcomes of initiatives undertaken over the past 10 months are now evident, aligning with President Dr. Muiz's vision of transforming the Maldives into a developed nation. He stated that the President's primary focus is on advancing the Maldives towards a digital economy, expanding the financial sector, and developing new revenue-generating industries. As such, he stated that the government has introduced the maritime sector to the Maldives and is continuing to expand it. Furthermore, Minister Saeed affirmed that the Maldives offers a secure environment for investment, providing information on the recent legislative changes to ensure the security of investors. The minister stated that the 45-year-old legislation related to foreign investment was now amended to fit to modern standards. He added that the changes being brought to the financial system will also ensure the security of intellectual property. The minister expressed optimism about achieving positive economic changes through collaboration between the two countries.
Minister of Social and Family Development, Dr. Aishat Shiham, emphasizes the importance of data pertaining to gender equality when drafting policies. The remarks were made by the minister in the ceremony held to launch a report which consists of information related to gender equality. The gender data use report was officiated by the Vice President's spouse, Aishat Afreen. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Dr. Aishat Shiham stated that 2006 marks the first year in which demographic statistics were collected, including data related to genders. She noted that the Maldives experienced several progresses in the collection of data afterwards, In her address, the Minister Dr. Aishat Shiham stated that the drafting of the report took over 5 years. The Minister reaffirmed the Ministry of Social and Family Development's commitment to support in further improving the development and well-being of the society. She underscored the crucial importance of utilizing data related to gender equality when drafting developmental policies. She stated that the report was very important in ensuring that no individual is left behind and building an inclusive society. In addition to the Gender Data Use Report, the strategic plan named Validation of the National Strategy for the Development of Gender Statistics NSDGS was inaugurated during this ceremony. The plan was officiated by the Minister of Housing, Land and Urban Development, Dr. Ali Haidar. The plan aims to further enhance data collection, particularly data related to gender equality. The Ministry of Tourism reveals that the Maldives has welcomed over 1.5 million tourists, with the number of tourists visiting from Germany increasing.
The latest tourism update report released by the Tourism Ministry indicated that a total of 1,522,621 tourists visited the Maldives as of October 6th. This is a significant increase of 9.5% compared to the 1,390,307 tourist arrival within the same period last year. The statistics indicate that China continues to be the top market source of tourism with 227,978 tourist arrivals. Following China, the leading source markets include Russia with 166,172 visitors, 128,262 arrivals from the United Kingdom, 110,574 from Germany, and 107,799 from Italy. On average, 5,100 tourists arrive to the Maldives daily. This steady influx has encouraged the government to set an ambitious target of attracting 2 million tourists by the end of the year. To achieve this goal, the Maldives now has to welcome 477,379 tourists. The government has been exerting several efforts to increase the tourist arrivals. As such, it has been actively collaborating with parties involved in the tourism industry to showcase the Maldives in international platforms.
U.S. stock indices closed lower on Monday, while Treasury yields rose as traders tamped down bets for Federal Reserve interest rate easing and worried about the Middle East conflict's impact on oil prices.
While waiting for quarterly earnings season and fresh economic data, investors also braced for another big hurricane, Milton, which is expected to hit the United States this week. After Friday's stronger-than-expected jobs report, traders pulled back from bets for a 50 basis point rate cut in November. They were pricing in an 86% chance of a 25 basis point cut and a roughly 14% chance the central bank would not cut rates at all. The change in rate cut expectations caused U.S. Treasury yields to rally, with the yield on benchmark 10-year notes exceeding 4% for the first time in 2 months. Besides next month's Fed meeting, investors are waiting for the Consumer Price Index inflation reading for September and the kickoff of third quarter earnings season, with reports from banks both due this week.
Coming off of last week, which was actually a flat week for the markets, but we had a lot of rotation underneath the hood. Energy was up almost 6%. Small caps are down. But more importantly, dollar rates and oil rallied last week, which is typically not a good thing for markets. So we're kind of in a wait and see mode with a lot of economic data coming out this week. CPI is coming, earnings season starts, Fed speakers are coming out and talking every day. So it's going to be a big week for the markets. And I think we're just digesting it today, waiting for all this events to happen.
Investors continue to fret about how Israel would respond to Iran's missile strikes. On Monday, Lebanon's armed group Hezbollah fired rockets at Israel's city of Haifa, while Israeli forces looked poised to expand ground raids into South Lebanon. According to preliminary data, the S&P 500 lost 54.90 points or 0.95% to end at 5,696.17 points, while the Nasdaq Composite lost 213.94 points or 1.18% to 17,924.49. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 398.71 points or 0.95% to 41,951.31. A big drag on the S&P came from Amazon.com after a Wells Fargo downgrade. Amazon's decline also pressured the consumer discretionary sector.
Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi warns any attack by Israel will result in a more powerful response.
Iran's Foreign Minister Araghchi warned Israel against launching an attack, saying on Tuesday that any strike on Iranian infrastructure would be met with a stronger retaliation. Iran attacked Israel last week with a salvo of missiles, and Israel has vowed to retaliate. Iran's foreign minister stated that Iran recommends the Zionist regime, Israel, not to test the resolution of the Islamic Republic, adding that if any attack against Iran takes place, the response will be more powerful. He stated that any attack on Iran's infrastructure will be met with a stronger retaliation, adding that the enemies know what kind of targets inside the Zionist regime, Israel, are in the reach. The foreign minister revealed that the first and second operation of Sadeg's promise demonstrated the commendable determination and authority of the armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran. So everyone knows that any strategic mistake by the enemy will be met with a far more severe response. Iran's oil minister landed on Kharg Island, home to the country's main export terminal, and held talks with the naval commander on Sunday. The oil ministry's news website, Shana, reported amid concern Israel could attack energy facilities. US President Joe Biden said on Friday that he did not think Israel had yet decided how to respond.
Former Barcelona and Spain midfielder Andres Iniesta announces his retirement on Tuesday after a glittery trophy-laden career spanning 24 years.
Iniesta, who's 40 years old, was at the heart of the Spain and Barcelona midfield during a period of sustained success for both teams in the late 2000s and early 2010s. The technically gifted Iniesta made 131 appearances for Spain, scoring the only goal of the 2010 World Cup final with a last-gasp strike to earn his country victory over the Netherlands as they lifted the global title for the first time. He also played a key role in Spain, winning the 2008 European Championship to snap a 44-year trophy drought, and was named player of the tournament when they successfully defended the title in 2012. Born in the tiny village of Fuentealbilla, less than an hour's drive southeast from capital Madrid, Iniesta joined Barcelona's La Masia youth academy at 12 years old and made 674 appearances for the Spanish side, captaining them for 3 seasons. A year before becoming Spain's World Cup final hero, Iniesta worked his magic in a Champions League semi-final against Chelsea. His brilliant shot deep in added time secured Barca a place in the final, and they went on to lift the trophy, Pep Guardiola's first European Cup triumph as a coach. Iniesta won 9 La Liga titles with Barca, 4 Champions League titles, 6 Copa del Rey crowns, 2 UEFA Super Cups and 3 FIFA Club World Cups, many of them alongside Javi Hernandez, a rival for the accolade of being described as the best Spanish footballer of all time. Runner-up for the 2010 Ballon d'Or, behind Messi, Iniesta called time on his magnificent spells with Spain and Barcelona in 2018 and moved to Japan to play for Vissel Kobe.
From Yoda scan to Clint Eastwood's Duster Coat in The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, hundreds of items will go under the hammer next month in a sale of movie and television memorabilia.
Entertainment memorabilia auctioneer Prop Store is selling more than 1,800 items at its annual live auction, which this year runs from November 14th to 17th, and which it estimates could fetch more than £10 million, $13.1 million. Items worn or used by some of Hollywood's biggest names are up for grabs, with plenty of lots from some cinema's biggest franchises, including the James Bond and Harry Potter films. Leading the sales is a Sand Trooper helmet from the move-along scene in Star Wars A New Hope, which has a price estimate of £250,000 to £500,000, $326,900 to $654,000.
In the world of stormtroopers, there were only about 30 complete stormtrooper costumes made for the original Star Wars film. From that, you can distill it down to sand troopers, and this is actually a sand trooper helmet, and there are only half a dozen of those made, and so it's an incredibly rare artifact as well.
Prop Store said that the Yoda can being sold was used in both The Empire Strikes Back and The Return of the Jedi. An array of costumes are being sold, including Michael Keaton's Batsuit from Batman Returns, a suit worn by Daniel Craig in Bond film Skyfall, and the 2015 resizing jacket Michael J. Fox's character Marty McFly wore in Back to the Future Part 2. Eastwood's duster coat from The Good, the Bad and the Ugly is also among the lots.
I think one of the most exciting costume pieces we have has come into us from a costume house in Italy. It's never before been offered at market. It was in fact discovered after Prop Store went to visit them, hunting for some of these artefacts. And it's Clint Eastwood's duster from The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Now the duster is a synonymous attire for most Western films. This is deemed to be one of the best Western films perhaps of all times, and Clint Eastwood costume pieces from those films virtually never ever turn up, so we're super excited to have that.
Other highlights include Russell Crowe's Maximus Arena helmet and mask from Gladiator, the ghost face mask worn by Harry Winkler as Principal Arthur Himbry in Scream, and a dress worn by Elizabeth Taylor in Cleopatra.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant day ahead.